Hello, my friends. This is our video on backlinks. So we're going to go over a few points. One, what is a backlink? Two, how do I create a backlink? And three, how are backlinks helpful to us? So we'll start from the beginning. What is a backlink? A backlink is basically just a link. It's a link that you create like you would for anything else. So some people may be familiar with creating a link in a Gmail message. And so, you're creating an email and there's the paper clipped down at the bottom for attachments, and next to it looks like a jelly bean kind of laying on its side with a horizontal line through the middle of it, and that is the link button. And so when you click that, after you've highlighted any given, whatever the given text is, then you click on that link button, and then it'll give you a space to put a URL. And so you go to the website or the web page specifically that you want your reader to go to. You copy that URL and you paste it in the URL section of that link. Now, this is important. I use Gmail as an example because a lot of people are familiar with it, and creating a backlink is essentially the same process. But creating a link in an email is not a backlink. That is a message going from one person to another. It won't do anything for anyone's search engine optimization. It is simply used as a convenient way for you to refer to a specific web page or whatever. Backlinking is done a number of ways. The primary way that I'm familiar with and we'll be talking about is it's done in a blog. And so some websites that you have will have an area where you can blog. Some don't. It can be added to some. All that varies. And then the mechanics of it vary a little bit depending upon the software or application that you're using. But you get the general idea. What the difference between just a link and a backlink is, a backlink isn't anything magical or special. It's just that it's a link you create that refers back to somebody in the context of what you're writing. So if I'm writing a blog about water damage in your basement, Serpro can come in, and we work really well with insurance. But to know what kind of coverage you have, talk to your insurance agent or your local insurance agent. I would highlight insurance agent, and then I would copy and paste the URL for Joel's website there, Brave Rogue Brummel. But I'd go to his page with his contact information and everything like that. That's how you create them. That's what they are. A backlink is a way that you're basically saying that you vouch for them. You are recommending. It's kind of a recommendation when you put a backlink in your blog. And so that kind of takes us to how is that helpful? Well, that has to do with search engine optimization, also referred to as SEO. SEO is a big deal. SEO is a long play. I'm not going to dive too deep into SEO, but we do need to know a little bit about it to get an idea of where backlinks come into play. So search engine optimization, or SEO, is basically a way for the search engines to verify that they're sending people to a reputable, active, open company. You don't want to search some service or whatever, and then you click on one of the top links and it's somebody that's not even in business anymore. That's the very thing that Google and Bing and all the other search engines are trying to avoid. Or a place that's shady or just plain stinks at what they do. We all know that they're out there. So one way they do that, there's a bunch of different ways, and that's a rabbit hole in itself. But one way that you can rank better in SEO is by having backlinks, because that's somebody else saying, hey, you should check these people out, they're good. And then by backlinking to someone, you're kind of putting your name on that. So let me see here. How it helps us is that it helps us with our search engine optimization. So I had to regather my thoughts. Search engine optimization is a slow play. You're going to have to work at it for several months before you see results. And to give you the proper expectation, the way search engine optimization, or where it is on your page, at the very top for some industries, not for all yet, is Google guaranteed or local guaranteed. That people are spending big bucks for that. And then below that you'll have your Google ads, and again, people spending big money for Google ads. Below the ads comes the maps. That's based a lot on your service area and where your place of business is physically located. And then below that is the natural search options, and that's what we're optimizing. With the ads, it costs a fortune, but if you need business quick, you need results now, that's the way to do it. But you're going to want to talk to a professional that only does that. You don't want a jack of all trades, and you don't want to talk to someone like me who only knows a little bit, because you're looking at spending at least $1,000 a month to have good results with Google ads. But it gets results, but as soon as it, as fast as it produces results, it quits as well when you stop paying. So it's like a faucet. You turn the water on, you turn the water off. It has all to do with money, and then you're getting your results. Whereas search engine optimization is a little more like a snowball. You build it. It's not that big, but it keeps snowballing, and it becomes bigger and bigger, and you get more and more traction. And that large snow boulder rolling down the hill's got momentum. So even when Google updates and changes its algorithm, if you're practicing good SEO, you're still going to get results. It may not be exactly the same. There may be differences. You may get better or worse a little bit when they change that algorithm, but you're still going to do well, and you'll do well even a while after you've stopped doing that SEO, because it takes a little bit for that momentum to stop. So building up that SEO is really important, and doing it by other people vouching for you has a lot of clout. The last thing I'll say on it is that having a lot of backlinks is important. It's good to have a lot of backlinks, but the backlinks are ranked. They're ranked based on who's saying that you're good. For example, I'll use Kristen Ruther as an example, and I don't know if Remax even allows for them to blog, so I'm not committing her to anything, but I'm just saying, if Remax allowed for her to blog, Remax is a big name, and as an agent of Remax, Kristen would have a pretty decent amount of clout. Just like me with ServPro. ServPro is a pretty big name in my industry. It's the biggest in my industry. And I wasn't even sure if they would allow me to backlink. I just did it, and they approved it. So, when I backlink to someone, it's a good thing. And I'll continue to do so as long as ServPro allows me to do so. I'm meaning the corporate, not Ted and Randy. They're good guys. They'll let me, backlink to you guys. But ServPro corporate approves all of my blogs. But anyway, how much traffic that site gets, what kind of a name they are in that industry, all of those things matter, and those rank higher as more influential backlinks than somebody who's just not active. And it doesn't have, you don't have to be a big company necessarily either. It has more to do with how well you've done with your SEO and how active you are on the web, with your website, with your social media, with those things in general. That's what has the biggest impact on how effective your backlinks are for others. So I know that there's going to be more questions, but I know that your time's valuable as well. And so I kind of want to leave it at that. If you have more questions, something that's more specific to your industry or your situation, let me know. Maybe there's some details that I kind of forgot to go over, some questions I might not have thought of because I'm familiar with the process. Let's just set up a one-to-one and kind of go from there. But this is kind of a good foundation, a basic idea of what it is, how it works, and if maybe it's something that you're interested in or maybe you're not interested in it, that's okay too. So thank you very much for your time, and look forward to working with you in one way or another in the near future. Thanks.